Hi, I'm Ro from CyberSloop, and right out of the gate, I just want to say that you can't go wrong with either of these two apps. They're both excellent and will both help you out with your digital parenting needs. If you want to go ahead and test out one or both of these apps for yourself, just check out the link below for a discount, and you're supporting the channel at no cost to you, which I always greatly appreciate. Just to give you guys a heads up, I'll be testing these side-by-side comparisons on 6 different categories. I told you in the beginning that there really isn't a clear winner, but for setup right out of the gate, I would say that Aura is a little bit easier to set up than Qustodio, specifically if your child does have a lot of applications already on their device. When you set up Aura, all the applications will automatically be linked to the monitoring service. All you have to do is send a link to your child's device, and then your child just has to input their credentials. With Qustodio, you're going to have an extra step. You do have to open up every application on the device individually so that the software can begin its monitoring process. That does make this app a little bit more tedious, as I know many of us parents are trying to save more time where we can, and that's where Aura shines a little bit brighter. After the setup, this is where the real magic begins. And I know a lot of our concerns are how much time our kids are spending on the devices or online. This is where both apps really tie it up. They both have great tools for monitoring screen time. With Aura, you can easily set up daily time limits for the screen time. And once the allowance runs out, it stops opening up any apps or web applications. That's the beauty of it. Once it's over, it is over. The bonus thing with Aura is you can do a reward system where if your child does anything to earn extra time, you just go to the dashboard and click that, and it will reward your child with extra time. Otherwise, the allowance won't restart until the following day. Now, this also is where Qustodio steps it up a bit. They allow you to really dial in those screen time limits on a per day basis, meaning you can have a weekday schedule and a weekend schedule, whereas you can set up down to the time. So let's say your child's bedtime is 8 p.m. That is when you can end the screen time limit. Afterwards, the allowance is over and it won't reset until the next day. But if the weekend looks a little bit different for your child, you can change that time and really tailor it to what your child's schedule is reflecting. So Qustodio does step it up a bit in this category. A bonus for both of these apps, Aura and Qustodio, is that they do give you a superpower, whereas you can pause the entire internet with the click of a button. All you have to do is go to the dashboard and click that button, and it will pause the internet, giving your child the ability to get some fresh air or do other things. Now, a super important thing to me would be web monitoring. And this is where we'll take a careful look at how both Qustodio and Aura approach this task. With Aura, I will say that there are some convenient settings when it comes to web monitoring. When you're going through the setup process, you can choose the category of the age group that your child belongs to, and it will automatically filter out content based on that. So let's say you have a young child. If you click that as the category, it will automatically filter out social media based apps, because the Aura app knows that social media and kids don't really mix. So that is something that is nice about that. If now, let's say you have teens, Aura will work with that by not being as restrictive and reducing the amount of content it is filtering out. Still, it is fully customizable, and you will be able to filter out things that you do or don't want your child to be seeing while they're floating around online. In fact, there are 28 different categories of content you can choose to allow or block on your kid's device. Questodio's web monitoring capabilities are similar to Aura's, with one notable difference. There is an alert setting you can choose on the dashboard, where if your child accesses what you've set to alert, it won't necessarily block. It'll just let you know that they're viewing that content. What's important about this is if there is a category that you feel you don't necessarily want to block, but you might want to have a conversation if you know that your child is viewing that content. This is where I really think Qustodio is helpful for the older kids category. I will say both apps do a really good job of giving you a detailed report of the content or where your child has been online. So with both apps, you can't go wrong. With these basic features covered, you might feel like you're ready to make a decision. And if so, don't forget to click the link below, check out some discount codes for yourself, and be off to the races. For the rest, I will say that we're moving on to another important feature of both apps, which is location and text monitoring. Another area where Qustodio shines for school-age kids or those parents that want to run a tighter ship has to be its location and text monitoring features. And if this is a deal breaker, I have to say Aura does not have these two features, and so you'll definitely want to choose Qustodio in this category. First up, location monitoring. Qustodio allows parents to track location in real time, meaning you can set up geolocation fences around important things like school, home, or maybe a relative's house. And if your child stops by those places, it will alert you when your child has arrived or left those locations. Regardless of that, it also tracks real-time stops that your child has made along the way, meaning you can see if your child stopped anywhere and make sure that they got home safe. On to text monitoring. And I have to say, if you have really young kids, then most likely this isn't as important to you, as most toddlers aren't texting yet. Regardless, if you have teens or older kids that are using their phone to send messages to their classmates, then perhaps keeping an eye on those messages is important to you. In which case, Aura doesn't have this feature, and so Qustodio is the app that you'd want to go with. Good customer service is one of those situations that, if you need it, is really nice to have. And I will have to say, if I had to pick a clear winner, Aura takes the cake. If you are an Aura user, you can go ahead and call this number and call them if you have a problem. For Qustodio users, on the other hand, if you do have a problem and you need to speak to someone, the best you can do is submit a ticket via email. Still, Qustodio does have a large database of information to support and help you troubleshoot through any issue that might arise. Last but certainly not least is price. And in this economy, it might be a deal breaker for you. So let's go ahead and break it down. Aura is an affordable choice, meaning it comes with a $10 a month package with a 2-month money-back guarantee. Qustodio's pricing is similar for its premium package that does include that text monitoring we previously spoke about. If you are on a tight budget, you can choose Qustodio's basic plan, which doesn't include text monitoring, but it does include its robust location monitoring service. So if you're on a tight budget, then Qustodio's basic plan will run you about half the premium cost. Also, Qustodio does have a free trial, which Aura does not. Now, if you did want a broader set of tools, not just parental controls, Aura does have a family plan that includes identity theft protection, data broker removal services, and robust parental control app features. With their family package, you can manage everything from just one simple dashboard at a simple cost. For those of you looking for parental controls, I hope I helped break everything down in a way that makes you make the best decision for you and your family. Regardless of what you choose, I feel like you can't go wrong with either, and you're gonna get what your family needs as far as protection. Don't forget to click the link below for an exclusive discount code, and we'll see you on the next one.